Okay, so you read the title. Very controversial title. Once again, I'm not going to use a script. I'm going to speak from the heart on this one. People need to stop blaming stuff on people. I mean, the fact that you can blame stuff on a certain group of people is so messed up in the first place. I mean, think about it for a second, okay? So, Russia attacks Ukraine. Ukrainians get upset at Russians. A lot of them are. I'm not blaming them, I'm just saying, hear me out. They get angry at the Russians. But if we didn't have those labels, if we didn't associate ourselves with countries, and if we didn't define our identity by the country that we're a part of in the first place, there wouldn't be anyone to blame stuff on. Think about it for a second. If you couldn't blame it on Russians, I mean, here's another example. Here's a better example for my explanation. So, the Nazis, right? Terrible. They did terrible things. Correct? Duh, don't need to say that. After World War II, obviously, Holocaust survivors are going to be very, very upset. Understandably. But if we couldn't blame it on Germans, what would we blame it on? Well, let me tell you. We'd blame it on Nazis, a political party, politics. Maybe politics. There's something wrong with it. Maybe there's something wrong with how these sorts of groups can form. And here's another thing. I hate when people associate political groups with race. For example, people will say that, wow, the Nazis were so smart. But what people don't understand is that Nazism is a political ideology. It is not people. It's a political ideology. It's a belief, a messed up one at that. The Nazis weren't smart. Germans were. You have the ruling superpower in that country, the Nazi Party, using German intellect for evil. That's the thing. That's why mixing these two things is so dangerous, because it can do so much damage. I mean, we see it now. I mean, I'm gonna say it again, if we didn't associate ourselves with a country, we wouldn't be blaming each other like this. We couldn't. There wouldn't be a word for it, because it's so absurd. That's how absurd it is. If we didn't make up these fantasy terms, we wouldn't be able to blame each other. and we'd realize the actual issue. But since we believe in this sort of made-up crap, the idea of, Germans or Ukrainians or Russians or Americans, we can blame each other. And then the political superpowers, they get what they want. Everyone's too busy squabbling. I mean, that's why we can't do that. Because no progress is going to be made if we're just pointing fingers at people. I mean, people don't cause war. People don't do that. Let's take soldiers, for example. And this is also something that pisses me off, is when you call soldiers killers when they're not. Let me explain. Hopefully I don't have to explain this to most of you. Jesus. I say most of you like I have an audience, but I digress. So, you have deforestation. Do you blame the axe or the person wielding the axe? Do you blame the machine or do you blame the company that manufactures these machines and that runs them? I stick to the axe metaphor. Do you blame the axe? Did the axe cause all that deforestation? Or did the person that chopped the wood did? You say the person that chopped the wood. The person that cut down the trees. The person that used the axe. The person that made the axe. It's not the axe's fault. The axe didn't ask to be used for an unjust purpose. The axe was just doing what axes are meant to do. I mean, so when you're blaming soldiers, you're blaming the axe. It's nonsensical. It's just the way people assign blame to people isn't productive. Part because we're assigning blame to people in the first place. Oh, it's that group's fault. Oh, it's that group's fault. Oh, it's because of these people. These people are killers. They don't deserve sympathy. And therein lies the true essence of politics. Because then, they don't deserve sympathy. Then guess what? Your brain is switched. Now, it's justified to hurt these people. Oh yeah, but they're bad people. They're not like us. They're unworthy of brotherhood, of camaraderie. We're above them. It's just, yeah. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it's just, we're all a bunch of scapegoats. We're all just targets waiting to be put up. There's no sympathy anymore. There's no human connection. There's only human connection within people inside your bubble, within people that relate to you. But that's the thing, this relation doesn't even exist. It's not even real. People made up strings to connect people with. I mean, the things that tie people together these days aren't even real. They don't even exist. There are actual things that tie us together. Our humanity being the giant one, the big elephant in the room that for some reason no one wants to address. We're all human. I mean, people have done that before. Martin Luther King, Jesus, they did that. Didn't turn out so well for them. I mean, that's the kind of society we live in. I mean, we have not developed. I mean, we are no different than ancient Rome. How messed up is that? Materially, we have gotten better. You know, we have new medicine, we have video games, we have, nicer houses, running water, yada yada. But societally, I mean, yeah, we kill each other less. That's pretty good. There's more restraint, but that's a double-edged sword. I'm not saying that restraint is bad, but is it the person? Is it teaching people to restrain themselves or forcing restraint on others? That's another thing. But that's besides the point. I'm rambling now. I barely understand that, but I just said. Might even cut that out. I don't know. But the point is, we are still as barbaric in that sense as we were hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago. We still have that process. I can kill this person because they don't believe in God, or because they don't support my political party, or whatever. It's barbaric. It's primitive. We're better than that as a species. We are capable of more than that. But of course, then if we're all united, we see past the bullcrap, then it's harder to get us to blame each other, harder for us to be manipulated and channeled and directed into doing certain things, doing the dirty work. That's all I really have to say for this video, I think. So, next time, when you're about to assign blame to a group or to someone, really think for a second, is this productive? Is this bettering people as a whole? Is this what I truly feel? And also, is this truly the most rational decision? Is this my own decision? How could me blaming these people benefit others. Make these connections. Draw these lines. Connect the dots. And you think you'll find that assigning blame to people just isn't how you solve problems.